good evening all. Let's just update the stream name. Here we go. Right, okay, so stream goes live in 15 minutes. I will let my opponent know the recording has begun. I'm USA, because, you know, I feel like at some point I have to try and win with it. But we're not going to open Europe domination with Marshall Plan, even though I'm I could do, I guess. But then if the Italy coup wins, I have to drop it for a point. Interesting. Choices already. Right, let's send a message to our opponent. Okay, so we can open 4-4-2 and headline captured Nazi. Hope the Italy coup flubs, fill France and go for Europe domination. Or we can open Europe dom, get socialist governments, get couped out, generally have a disaster. So I'm going to be risk averse, very risk averse, and we'll hold Warsaw Pact for potential blockading. 4-4-2, and I'm going to headline captured Nazi. I don't know. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe I should go all out from the start. But maybe I shouldn't. And we're going to find out. And feedback is ever welcome, because I'm clearly still learning. What else we got? Independent 5-year, Cambridge 5. Vietnam Revolts, which we'll play AR6. Olympic Games. That's promising. So we trade on points, and we are very much hoping for a no Italy coup. So, interesting headline. Suggests they're not massively ops rich. There's an awful lot more headlines above Olympic Games you want to be playing. But it's good that we've gotten off to space, because we're not going to ideally want to space any of these in a hurry. So goes to the UN intervention coup. This is going to be a US-Japan or a 3-op card. Ouch. So Iran, definitely. It clears it out. That's a result for them, in a way. Eastern European unrest. But it does give me a chance to fill France. Ooh, although Suez Crisis then clears me out, doesn't it? Okay, so we're going to go independent Reds into Lebanon and one into Thailand. That does incite the coup in Lebanon. But then we could always use Marshall Plan for 4 ops to move into Egypt and France. And when DEFCON drops to 3, we can take Thailand. The vents are wheezing away on this bad boy, so hopefully it's rendering fine. I'd be grateful as ever when people do get on the Twitch stream to confirm that they can hear me okay. It looks alright. I'm actually going to mute my desktop audio because today we do not have Shez and Jimmy joining us. If this goes wrong, it's all my own making. This is the ITSL Silver playoff, having crashed out of the regular playoffs in no time. So Blockade moves away. And the coup fails. Wow. Youch. So we will 5-year plan into France. If he's got De Gaulle, he's going to play it now, but we have a chance to repair multiple times with multiple high-op cards, because now we know that Blockade is gone. Although, of course, the downside of filling France here is if he does have Suez, it's a freebie. Although, I'd have headlined Suez over Olympic Games if he thought the coup was going to be on Iran. Although, if he's op-light, I suppose headlining Suez and then 3-op coups Iran for your first coup is bold. So maybe I've just given away some ops for Suez. We'll see. Special relationship goes off to space. That misses as well. He's having about as bad a start to the tournament as you can have. So we'll now use Warsaw Pact to take Egypt. We should probably overprotect France as well. Although it's scored, de Gaulle is still easily in reach. Formosa drops. Spread some influence around. So what do we like here? Let's threaten Taiwan, while also making a scene in the Middle East. We still haven't seen either of the D cards, so there's still a lot of road left to run. Right, we get to see the rest of the hand. Decall. So we will place the influence into Thailand. Going for Egypt. Oh no, going for Lebanon. Interesting. We'll press into Laos. Will we press into Laos, Cambodia? Yeah, because he's not going to use... We'll press into Libya as well. If he events Decall here, we're in decent shape. And if he coups with the China card, we're also in good shape. If he events Decall, we probably take a coup here. Get our mill-ops. Get most of the mill-ops anyway. He may think China card coup here. Formosa Resolution's in play. It's his best opportunity to have a crack at Thailand with 4 in it. Or he may just event Decall, but if he does, we'll coup one of the one-stab Africa grounds. And if he puts all the influence into Asia, that suits me fine. He's going for it. Big money, no whammies. Not enough. And we'll go to Angola before Decall. But without the China card, he can't flip Thailand, so he's got to coup on it. And I may get duck and cover. that'll do. Don't get duck and cover, but I do get de Gaulle, so France is safe from everything except socialist governments. And I picked up D-Style, and blockade's not in play. So the options are between Purge and Defectors. Defectors is best if he headlines Decol, rather than Purge, and then we can keep Purge for Ops. Rather red hand, apart from Defectors and Purge. But with Europe scoring gone, we have nothing to lose by headlining Defectors. And best case scenario, we defect Decol. NASA, that's fine for now. So expect a coup on Thailand. If it fails, i.e. doesn't drop below 2 influence, then we can take a coup to drop Defcon, although Iraq's the only source. Let's see. Yeah, it cleans me out, so that's a bummer for him because I take it straight back. And NATO's now in play. So Italy's now safe against brush war. So rather than use Cambridge 5... Yeah, rather than use Cambridge 5 and tip that I'm not holding any scoring cards, I'll spread some influence around. They may want a coup on the Middle East or one of the one-stab battlegrounds, with, of course, eventing to follow. And now we have to decide which cards we're least unhappy playing / eventing. So, stream starts in a minute and a half. Welcome to those who've been with me. Events decol. That's fairly straightforward. Interesting, doesn't go Africa. Alright, we are going to tip our hand fairly quickly here. Is that better than Arab-Israeli? Yeah, because until we've gone through... Until we see Korean War, we can't do anything with South Korea. Until we go through Jordan, we can't comfortably play Arab-Israeli war. Yes, but the bluff doesn't work. The bluff in the Middle East doesn't work without... Do we walk into Africa with the other op? Man, even Fidel's nasty. It's a tricky spot. So what do we think here? We have to... We have to ensure we're defended against... Alright, we're going to give Fidel up. And we're going to press Taiwan. See if US-Japan drops. I hate giving up Fidel. Especially with CIA gone. But I also don't want to run Arab-Israeli war just yet. Next turn, if domination doesn't get gained in Asia, we can play Arab-Israeli war into Jordan to trigger it. Although I suppose maybe the Cambridge 5 is better. He gets the coup. It goes Zaire. It fails. Ugh. So gross. So we'll take Thailand, but we'll tip the fact we don't have a scoring card this time. Are we going to do that? Are we? Are we? Are we? Now, I tell you what, we're going to give Angola up, but threaten Middle East domination. That's got to look frightening. So we space Suez, event and repair de Gaulle, Cambridge 5 AR6 and hold D-Stal. Although if he does something to fix the Middle East in inverted commas... Oh no, overprotect. So he doesn't care about Middle East scoring. And he's overprotecting. Okay, we'll take our chance to take Angola and move into Costa Rica. Tipping that we also do not hold scoring cards. It's interesting how he resigned himself on the Middle East there. Because the other op should have gone in Syria to level up if he did have Middle East scoring. It suggests that Asia scoring is more likely. Although, I'm not likely to claim domination there. Thailand is vulnerable to a decol headline next turn if it comes back in the reshuffle with defectors. It's especially vulnerable due to not having another battleground. But I do not think that's sufficient reason to give up the China card. The only way would be 1 in Thailand, 1 in Taiwan, 3 in South Korea, I suppose, although Korea War hasn't gone. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking that. We shall see. We certainly shall. Socialist government's great that it's not being used for ops. I'm down with that. Levels up the Middle East. We will space Suez. Okay, we'll give up the China card. That'll do. Not happy about that, but also much less happy giving up domination just like that. And we've got Indo-Pakistani War, though we don't have a clear target. So, I'm thinking Asia's scoring here. It's not going to get any better for us. It's likely to get worse. Let's see what they're holding, though. So they know we're holding Asia and Middle East scoring as well. They're holding US, Japan, and nuclear test ban, and duck and cover, and containment and NORAD. They have got a ton of ops, although they're largely blue. And I got defectors and indie reds in the reshuffle. So yeah, US, Japan, nuclear test ban, duck and cover containment, and NORAD. Youch. Yeah, I'm going to drop Asia's scoring because even Decold doesn't flip it. Korean War does on a 5 or a 6. But they're not likely to be holding it. We'll get our Milops this turn through Indo-Pakistani War. I think we just run with it. I expect we're going to see a coup on Libya or Egypt. Olympic Games again. USSR wins again. So cue the coup on Libya or Egypt. We hope for a miss. But with 2 4-op cards to choose from, it is not promising. We can at least slowly accumulate ops in Saudi and Israel. Okay, a cheap coup I can live with. And they go Africa, which I can also live with. That suits me. Okay. So do we play greedily? Let's, with Arab-Israeli war gone. So we're likely to event de Gaulle, leave it open, and event Truman at some point in the turn, although Europe's scoring being accounted for is important. But he's already played Olympic Games and Arab-Israeli War. We know 5 of the 6 cards, so when we see the reveal of the next one, Duck and Cover has to be their space card this turn, and we're expecting a AR6 containment, so we have to make sure we space D-style by then. US Japan can't be played for free. Containment, Duck and Cover can't be played. Containment can. NORAD currently can, but it would give me grounds to fill it. And we'll just play Indo-Pakistani War for the Milops. If he wanders into India, we'll take a crack at that, because that'd be good access. And yeah, I guess I'm playing greedily. If they pump 4 into Saudi, we drop Middle East scoring for 0. If they do anything else, like space or put something somewhere else on the board... Yeah, so I expect this to go into Saudi rather than Israel. Yep. 3, 4. Ah! Interesting. So is he suckering Europe scoring to do the switcheroo on Saudi? Oh, that's a sassy bluff. But I don't want to go -4 and him not hold it. So I'm going to accept the trade to my chagrin if that is his 6th card. Now, please don't have it. He does! Oh, ouch! That hurts my parts. D-Star goes off to space. Let's hope that isn't a assault target later in the turn. We'll be putting 2... Man, that sucks! We'll be putting 2 into Canada to punish a NORAD play. If indeed a NORAD play is forthcoming. But with US, Japan, Duck and Cover, Containment, and NORAD. Well, that is a stone-cold disappointment on Europe scoring. The one unknown card back in the reshuffle. I thought, I mean, it's well played, right? But I thought it was a bluff. I thought he was saying, I'm going to rep Europe scoring to get you to play into Portugal, so I can then take the Middle East, and then you have to give me domination. So, yeah, the trade-off was tough. Where's this going? Flipping. Yeah, fine. Africa's now not looking so hot. Alright, we're going to have Vendagal. We're going to put 2 into France. And we're going to put 1 into Angola. And we'll see if he takes the bait and tries to pump France. Although he knows we've got Truman Doctrine. So that'd be silly. More likely is 3 NORAD into Algeria or a space. Which misses. Wow. Cosmonauts are not coming off. Are we happy giving up Milops? I think we are, actually. So I expect containment over NORAD here. If he pumps France, we use Truman Doctrine. If he doesn't pump France, we use Indo-Pakistani War to get our Milops and hope for a big old 1 in 6 on Pakistan just for a lark. Oh, cool. CG's in the room. So where's the containment ops going? They're going into Africa. So we will take our Milops. We're looking for a big old 6. They miss. But so would India. We add mid-war. Africa is a problem, but we have ABM treaty, we have junta, we have brush war, and we have purge. Whew! Hoo boy. With that many cards in our favour, we may just purge here. And we're hoping not to get Missile Envy. But unless they're holding We Will Bury You, they won't want to. But that is a fistful of cards that we like. And we can space away Quagmire. So gross. What a hand. So we know they're holding NORAD. And we will straight up purge. If we get Missile Envied, we get Missile Envied, but why not? I mean, I'm hoping this is just crippling with the number of 4 and 3 op cards I have. They've got Flower Power, We Will Bury You, and Muslim Rev. Marshall Plan hurts them. So we hope they get an Algeria or Panama coup off badly. Then we can ABM coup. Although with South Africa the way it is, we probably coup Zaire. There he goes Allende. So after the initial coup, we may go Junta, Argentina, realign. And we've got Brush War in the tank. So if they don't fill South Africa, we could coup Zaire and Brush War Angola. But let's see what they do. With a fistful of nasty cards, goes with a big old China card coup on Panama, which whiffs. Oh, youch. Right, let's get our chance to realign. Chile, be good. And again, no. Of course, I have tipped my hand that I have a decent card, but thankfully they missed it. Okay, we will ABM Kuzair. So in a way, that was silly of me because I play Junta on AR1. They know I've got some sort of card that can flip battlegrounds. That was a not particularly great coup, mind. So if they have a 4-op card, they can flip Zaire. That's unlikely, so we overprotect with East European Unrest. We probably take the 2VP and the jab in the chest as played. If they missile envy us, we give them Eastern European Unrest, which they can't do a great deal with now Defcon's at 2. Africa scoring drops before it gets any worse. Very wise, very wise. So that gives us free reign. So we will start by filling Mexico and covering Southeast Asia scoring. Next, we have to event Brush War so that if they missile envy us, we don't give away goodies. So where are we brush warring? We are brush warring Angola, even though Africa scoring has dropped. Pakistan is a 5 or a 6. We hold Italy. And they hold 3-drop battlegrounds. So I guess in a way... Oh, he's taking the China card back. Bold, 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 bold. We will brush war Angola. And we win. So now they can't use the China card to even flip Zaire. So we know they're holding NORAD and 4 other cards. I have not been tracking. That one. China card. Yep, we're up to date. Cool, cool, cool. So AR6, we're probably going to do something like 2 in Costa Rica, 1 in Colombia to threaten this wing in case we get coup out of Argentina. So AR5, I'm feeling Space Quagmire. AR6, 5-year plan. AR7, kitchen debates. Poke in the chest. Rather than 2 in Costa Rica, of course, 1 in Nicaragua, 1 in Colombia, because it threatens the +1 realign on Cuba. Didn't spot that. Then we're still holding Truman, still looking to remove France. Oh, I tell you why we're not playing Quagmire just yet. Blockade's still in the deck. I always forget about Blockade if it doesn't get evented early war. Always, always, always. What a Nimrod. That means we are sitting on Quagmire for the time being. So Spacing Trap, that's sensible while you're purged. Can't argue with that. And he's away. So we'll go for the poke in the chest. Change of plans then. We use Truman to retake France. We hold Quagmire and use 5-year plan to go Nicaragua, Colombia, AR7. And if we get blockaded, we look like geniuses now instead of idiots. Lone Gunman, overprotect, fine. I'm happy with that use of Lone Gunman. So we go Truman into France. Now we have to decide if we do the South America Gambit. Although I suppose 2 into Uruguay is more attractive because it's harder to coup, and then if he does coup Argentina, I take Brazil. If he coups Uruguay with Che or something, I get a battleground coup, or I can do something different. Well, let's see. They've got 2 cards left that we don't know about, and they've got NORAD. Remember, we've got Nixon and Cultural Revolution now. Yusuri, sorry. Now Cultural Revolution's gone. So, we are going to be holding the China card through the late war. And we can use that for maximum leverage, even though CIA's gone. If one of the cards they're holding is grain sales, I can see why they took Cultural Revolution back, because obviously it's not even spaceable. They're just stuck with it for the term. If they've got something like Colonial Rearguards, Grain Sales, NORAD, they may want to play the China card again. Although there aren't many great NORAD targets at the moment. Worst, yeah, so if we play 5-year plan, 2 into Uruguay, 1 into Nicaragua, the worst headline we can see is Che. Because they can just coup back Nicaragua and then have a free coup on Uruguay, and if they flip, they've got a realign target. So Che is the worst case card for the next turn, I think. But if we don't do anything about Uruguay, we're basically inviting Argentina up on a platter for the initial coup. And that absolutely honks. Duck and Cover's gone, so I can't drop Defcon in the headline very easily next turn because most of the cards that do that have gone. We've got How I Learned, Grain Sales, and of course we will bury you for 3 VPs worth of abandonment. So lots to think about. If they've got something like Panama Canal Return, that's gross too. But they've got nuclear subs, that's not a bad AR7. What do they do with their single op? They wander that way. We don't have a decent coup target. But we'll execute our plan. 5-year plan. 2 into Uruguay. 1 into Nicaragua for domination. And threaten Cuba. And we want to see no Che. We want Che in our hand, not theirs. South America scoring is a safe bet here. Southeast Asia we're likely to be level in. We don't have a way to drop Defcon. Special relationship we event for the 2 VPs. Camp David we event for the VP. We can space Portuguese Empire crumbles if we want. We're not going to get to score arms race. Let's have a quick look at what things he could do that would make trouble for me. Lads, lads, lads. Willy Brand, Portuguese Empire. Portuguese Empire is vastly playable because of the ops. Don't need to worry about spacing after all. Camp David and Special Relationship. Nuclear subs went. Camp David. Special. Where is Special Relationship? There you are. Ordered by Ops My Foot. Quagmire we held. That should be all 9 cards. Can you do anything in South America? You cannot. Liberation Theology is in the north. Okay, we're going to drop South America scoring for 0. Play risk averse. Decall. Youch. So he's going to be able to flip Thailand. Nasty. But we'll get a coup if he does that. And Asia scoring's gone. So it's a tough choice for them. Give up the coup or... If they give up the coup, we'll coup Iran with lads and we'll try and cash arms race as well. Southeast Asia scoring is now going to hurt us if he flips Thailand, because that's a 4 VP swing. But that is life. If he takes the coup, we just short Thailand back up. So, as you will. I think we're just spacing Quagmire rather than pushing for 2 spaces here, because a 1 small step or something, or even a space, cuts our spacing down. And we can deal with all these 2-op cards, so we don't want to put ourselves in a position that makes life hard. So I expect to see Thailand, Malaysia, Zaire, Nigeria here. And then best case scenario, we see a coup on Zaire, which gives us a chance to repair stuff. And if he does take the coup, we use arms race to repair Thailand and put 2 in Botswana to make sure Angola's not a -1 rear line. At the moment, we are just making sure we're not overly pressured, right? Asia could become a big problem, which is thankfully scored. Central America is leaning our way unless Liberation Theology comes out. So, lots to think about. Special relationship will put 2 in Turkey to regain domination and get access elsewhere. Okay, are you going China cards? You are, so we get the coup. That is not great for us. Southeast Asia is now -4, but we'll get arms race points. Oh yeah, we go Zaire, obviously. We'll get arms race points if he doesn't get Mill Ops. Special relationship and Camp David points. Although Camp David, we may choose to use the 2 ops rather than the 1 VP. Southeast Asia is absolutely heinous. But we might hang on to it for a while and see if we can arse not away some of these. Being able to arse not away Southeast Asia scoring would be very nice. So I think here we're going event arms race, event special relationship, event Camp David, space Quagmire at some point, and see how many of these we can arse not away or similar. Or actually, before arms race, maybe we space Quagmire. He's likely to coup Nicaragua here anyway. Influence? Oh, okay. Okay, we're going to run the risk of Missile Envy because we've got cards we don't mind putting in the Quagmire trap. But we're following this up with Quagmire to space before anything else. I like striking the psychological wound of the USA scoring arms race, because that feels deeply unjust when you're USSR. Because that's the USSR's Veeps. That's not America's. So they're still holding NORAD. Haven't been able to shake that off yet. Lots of influence for We Will Bury You. Taking Algeria. I don't mind them sinking points into an area that's already scored, basically. Quagmire to space. We get to headline peak. That is nice. So now if they play Missile Envy, we give them Portuguese Empire, you know? No big deal. And then we're going to hold on to Southeast Asia scoring as long as possible in case they play us not. I may event Portuguese Empire crumbles to coup Haiti and give us a couple of cracks on Cuba, but on the other hand, I don't know. It's likely just to cause a counter coup. We'll wait and see what they do. We've got time to riposte. I could really do with us not here. And with lone gunmen gone by them... Oh, blockade. Panic. I did it again. Should have held on to Quagmire because of blockade. Okay, so they're just pouring influence, so they take all the sport scourge. That's very sensible. Overprotect 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. The classic. Okay, that's hard for us. Is it an uncontrolled? Any country, any Western European country, great, good. Both things, great and good. Let's just do that. And let's soften up Turkey. So they're going to have to respond back into Turkey. Ooh, Independent Reds is still unplayed, untriggered. So Yugoslavia can be pinged at some point. VOA goes to space. Very wise, very wise. That's not a nice one. So they'll be holding on to NORAD another turn. And oh boy, NASA are terrible. So what do we want to do now? Alright, we're going to have Portuguese Empire crumbles. And we're going to coup Haiti. That was crap. So coup Nicaragua. Okay, so we're going to use Camp David after all to counter coup Nicaragua. Oh, for the love of all that's good. Okay, so please no blockade, and then we, Southeast Asia, scoring for a 6-5. Blockade is so bad for us here. I need to make a note when blockade hasn't come in early war. Need like a big sign to stick on the wall just next to the laptop. Blockade, blockade, blockade. If it happens, I deserve it. Short-sightedness is no excuse. So Liberation Theology is not nice for us next turn either. So we know they're holding NORAD and 2 other cards. Yet to see what they are. Thinking, pray this isn't a blockade. There's sufficient 3 and 4 op cards in the deck that I'm hoping they would think he hasn't been so mad as to forget about blockade. Great. Whew. Dodged a bullet. Overprotect Cuba, fine. Don't know why you're worried about rear lines now that I've lost all my adjacency, but there you go. I get Libthy, which is great. I'm holding Nixon. Eventing John Paul's nice. Ask Not, I try and hold to turn 7. Although I can only do that by playing the China card, but I can take it back with Nixon. OAS gives me access. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad at all. So they're holding, likely holding We Will Bury You amongst others. U2 incident. Need to watch out for UN intervention. Omit. Nixon. Woo, John Paul. Ask Not. We get to see the headline. Yeah, I ideally want to hold Ask Not through turn 7. So we can go China, steal back with Nixon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hold those 2. We could space U2 incident, but it's mostly 3 decent ops. Muslim Revolution is nasty for us here. So, yeah, We Will Bury You's gone. Muslim Revolution is nasty. Socialist governments isn't great, but OPEC's fine. Suez is alright. So, yeah, Muslim Revolution is probably as bad as it gets. Socialist governments could be worse. Do we headline John Paul? Just to apply extra pressure? I think we probably do. We want to event Omit at some point. What's left in the draw pile? He's holding 7 other... Yeah. But what are we pulling? Flower Power, Muslim Rev, Che, OPEC, South Africa Unrest, etc. We may still event Omit. We can't hold it. So John Paul is probably the best bet. Extra pressure in Europe. Over, Ask Not, Nixon, Omit. Yeah, I like playing John Paul. It just is another thing that frigs with Europe in the late war. So yes, we will be holding U2 incident against blockade for as long as possible. Big coup. Miss, miss, miss. He gets there, but not enough. We use Salt to retake it. Was that another 1? A 3. It felt like a 1. And we were pleased to see Muslim Revolution used for that, because that protects our stations in the Middle East just before Omit. So we need to retake West Germany ASAP. They may make a run at West Germany, in which case we use the China card and steal it back with Nixon later. Flower Power is the only card in the deck that stages a decent run at West Germany. So before turn 7, we want to effect some sort of change in Asia and Africa, even if it's just cooing Southeast African states. steady the ship in Europe, press on in the Middle East, South America. We want to try and make domination in. Yeah, try and get Dom in Central America if he doesn't drop it in a second for points. If West Germany isn't attacked, and he does something relatively benign, like space, which would be lovely, I might use the China card to go to Costa Rica, to West Germany, for domination in Central America, and to recover West Germany. And then steal it back with the China card later in the turn. So, plenty to think about. Yeah, jamming it. We use the China card and we'll take it back with Nixon later on. That's fine. So we want to not see flower power here. Good. 17, 23 unseen cards. Is that right? 3, 6, 8, 13, 18, 21, 23. Holla. Forgive the scrolling. All right. If they don't do anything to jam West Germany, we use Willy Brandt to finish it off. But we're setting ourselves up for a fail in Europe if we don't deal with that. Even with Solidarity coming later and NATO in effect. Good, Missile Envy doesn't trigger. We'll use U2 Incident to finish it off. And I know that means if we get blockaded, we lose Ask Not. Do we think this is a gambit? Do we think, does this look like a joke to you? If this is all a long-winded blockade gambit, at least we can't get purged. No, we're going to be risk averse. If we get blockaded and lose Ask Not, that's a lot better than leaving West Germany open. We'll eat it. So, Willy Brandt to dink West Germany and repair, and one in Nicaragua for domination, possibly. If he spaces, we play Nixon. And we can, of course, not ask not away these cards. Okay, so... yeah, Willy Brandt... and then... threaten Central America domination. Ew. Double U. Okay, OAS2 into Brazil to then press into Venezuela. Not nice. Che's done his business. His filthy, filthy business. So now we're unlikely to event emit. There's not a lot that's in the next turn's pile that we feel totally sick about. And as we can't space, we use the tempo to take the China card back. Do we do that first? Or do we use emit to try and get a couple of rear lines off on Uruguay? 40% of the time it fails. Do we just... oh man, although if we play into Venezuela... okay, now we're going to take some realignment attempts. Come on. Big one on the second roll. Okay, a big one on the second roll. Okay, so we lose Arsenal as expected. But at least we counted it this time. And we'll take the China card back, and we have to watch out for a Brazil coup. That's, like, not nice. But I'd rather have the China card back, I think. So, Central America, Brezhnev. Korea, Summit. You got one small step and UN intervention. We got Suez. They got Flower Power and Comic-Con. Hold on. There's still one card left in the draw pile. Panama Canal returned. We got UN intervention. They had one small step. That's obviously very sensible and sanguine, and we want to get Suez off before them, ideally. We have not got a particularly great headline here. Central America scoring for 0. So they are not holding one of Flower Power, Yasuri, Comic-Con Alliance, NORAD, Shuttle Dip, Grain Cells, Puppet Government, Sadat. They spaced Colonial Rearguards, didn't they? So they're not holding that. Okay. So one of those 9. Anyway, we'll re-add the discards here. They ditch one small step. There's one left in the draw pile, so we don't re-add the discards yet. Doroy. I am making a mess of this tracker. No, don't remove that. Okay, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Central America is bland but safe before a coup. It does target South America, which is nasty, but we can at least try and get off to space. But there's no other sensible headline. Panama is just an invitation to coup Venezuela. Yeah, Central America scoring. Boring! If they coup Brazil, we try spacing Suez. And all this could come unravelled in turn 8. If they get Asia and Africa scoring, and more games. So hoping to miss. Does miss. Oh, yeesh. They cannot catch a break. Stuff it. We're going to event Korean War. No 6, please. No 6. Splendid. And we're going to put one in Venezuela, just in case they've got junta. And they can try and outflank me. And of course we can event Panama Canal returned to finish off taking Venezuela. If they get off to space, we'll use you an intervention on liberation theology to get it out of our hands and space Suez. If they take the realign on Argentina before we do on Uruguay, then I at least get a chance to go off to space, which they're doing. Let's hope they're unlucky. One unlucky, 2 unlucky, 3 unlucky. So we will have a go ourselves. Nope. So they've got 6 cards left and they're all blue. Yasuri, Alliance, NORAD, Shuttle Dip, Grain, Puppet, Sadat. They now can't space Grain. They're not holding one of them. So they might not be holding Grain Sales. But this is nasty for them. They can't space Grain, Puppet, or Sadat. So they may not space this turn anyway. Yasuri, I suppose, is the thing they want to see the least. Oof. There it is. Oh, there it is. He wants to go Venezuela. And misses. So we have to go Brazil, Venezuela, and while shuttle diplomacy is in play, we want to take another land. And now they can't play Yasuri. So that's another card that they have to space or do something else with. So spacing Yasuri or, well, I mean, Alliance for Progress is 4 VP, so they may choose to use Yasuri and give the China card back. Again, we've been very free with the China card this game. Event Sadat. 1 into Argentina. Great. Let's space Suez. Come on, be good. Oh, you swine. That is not good, because now they can space NORAD, Yasuri, or Alliance with impunity. Really could have done with that, guys. Really could have done with it. Alright, we're going to event Panama. We're going to use Summit for Ops. Miss. 7 VP swing. Oh, thank goodness. We're going to coup Southeast African states with Brezhnev on the last turn. Are we? No, we're going to coup it now with Summit. Splendid. Because that gives us 3 ops to do something else with later. They may now go Sahara and Cameroon. In which case we use Brezhnev to flip Nigeria on the end. We're probably going to event Panama Canal returned just to overprotect Venezuela, because we don't end up getting spear realigned in Brazil. So they're holding 3 out of Yasuri, NORAD, grain sales, and puppet governments, and they have to play 2 of them. Shame 5-year plan's already gone. Would have been a great time to shorten a hand. But such is life. Can't have all the cards in the world all the time. We're still in troubling shape in places, right? Africa's on the knife edge. South America go badly wrong. We're coming into turn 8 and USSR are slightly ahead on the scoreboard. These are things that should alarm us. We get the China card back. They should take India here. Okay. Shores up Europe instead. So we'll event Panama. They are going to play into Tunisia to finish their turn. And we'll take a Brezhnev Doctrine, corn it, and hope for the best, I think. That gets our Milops, ditches Brezhnev Doctrine. So they've got 2 out of NORAD, grain sales, and puppet governments. So, do we have a chance to put influence into Canada? Okay, that's fine. So, we can level up Africa, take Brazil, and Canada. All those things are fine. Could have gone worse. So, they've got 1 of grain sales or puppet. We get Aldrich, which is nice, and we get War Games, so they're not going to win by War Games. Let's get these back. Alright, sorry for the hold up, and they are holding 2. I've been making a mess of this card tracker. They're holding 1 of grain sales and puppet, which I want to put in their hands to remember. And we are holding War Games. We're holding Aldrich. The Reformer can go to space. Yuri and Samantha. Lads, lads, lads. It's a chance to chuck another one. Iran-Contra. We've got puppet government, so that solves that problem. They're holding grain sales and can't get rid of it. Well, unless they get to that discard a held card space, but I'll take them a couple of turns. We don't have anything to shorten their hand this turn, unfortunately. North Sea Oil. Is that 9 cards in my hand yet? Okay. So, what is our headline? Puppet governments. Puppet governments moves us into India as well. Over North Sea Oil. OPEC's only worth 2 points anyway, and we don't have the sort of cards that makes us want to take extra turns if we're ladsing away a card. Puppet governments. It is. Okay, Pershing removes some influence. So I expect he'll go West Germany, Canada for NORAD, and 1 other. Yeah, Okay. And we go India. And then, I guess we go either side of Nigeria. Although I suppose we could have gone into Czechoslovakia. I completely forgot that because the late war cards were added before the reshuffle, we're not having a reshuffle. So I now have to reorganize my scoring tracker based on that. So actually all of those cards are very likely to be in play, which is crazy. So if Defcon drops, we want to be spacing and we want to be holding them to the sword on... Holy moly. Yeah, we want to be holding their feet to the fire on Defcon. Iron Lady goes off. Well done. Bully for you. So before we do anything, we want to space a card, don't we? Oh, come on! Well, that's a freebie space. That's a free 3VP swing. That is crap. And he now has all the time in the world space. That was probably a misstep by me. I was greedy about the VP. I should probably have taken India and West Germany first, because I've just allowed him to waltz into taking that. Unbelievable. Blech. Not good. Okay, so they're holding grain sales and a fistful of late war cards. India. Okay, overprotect Africa. Okay, so we're really hoping the Indo-Pakistani war doesn't come into their hand. So we have to play Iran, Contra, and Yuri and Samantha late in the turn. I think we're going to allow them to double Latin American influence. It's either Latin America to ditch Aldrich and then play Romania for one, but rather than drown Europe, we go Latin America, pump all these bad boys while I cover Venezuela. I mean, Brush War's bad in South America, but there we go. And while Missile Envy's in play, we may want to flip Lao Cambodia to get domination, but on the other hand, Shuttle Diplomacy is unlikely to come out turn 9 or 10. Lucky to fade Ortega. One in Pakistan, one in Brazil. Fine and fine. So what do we like here? We're not going to get away with war games. So instead we're going to start overloading Europe. And we're going to Aldrich away Romanian abdication. Although we also want to have dominance in the Middle East. Let's do that for now. You're not going to be scoring war games, sunshine. So they're holding 5 cards, one of which is grain sales. So we go lads, we go Yuri, we go Iran, we go Aldrich. We probably use Yuri to coup Uruguay just to get our mill ops. Although Tunisia sets up a really good Algeria spear line. Uruguay does less. It does deny domination, but the chances of a 2-op swing are low. Clear down this all goes space. Please miss. I missed. Thank you. Good of you. They may end up in DEFCON Suicide. Oh no, wait. They're not, because Star Wars is playable. Where are we putting this? Have all of the influence, and now I'm definitely not going to be cooing Uruguay. So I expect to see Brazil and Argentina go to 6. So Urina Mantha coup Tunisia, Iran-Contra, overprotect Venezuela, Aldrich, ditch Romanian abdication, and then maybe, what, tap Poland with the influence? Although, of course, War Games is coming back in the reshuffle. Forgot about that. I tell you what, turn 8's where there's no reshuffles really messes with my head, and I need to think about the mechanics more, because all the things you discard in late war will come back again, potentially in turn 9 or 10. So I could still lose to War Games. That really would be something. Okay, what are you doing? Terrorism, please don't ditch Aldrich. You ditched Aldrich. Great work. Though that's the one card I really didn't want to see go, because now I have to event Romanian abdication. But I can at least tap Poland. Tunisia. Good. So we will go Romanian abdication, 1 into Tunisia, Iran-Contra, realign Algeria event after realign, if we get our own way here. Coup with Star Wars because it's not triggerable. Boo. We'll keep inch. Oh no. Because Africa's not ahead. We'll put another 1 in Venezuela. This game continues to elude me at my best. So we know they're holding grain sales. We'll see what their other card is for sure. Okay, so we use Iran-Contra to repair. Alright, we'll know exactly what late war cards they're holding. And then we won't know because of the reshuffle what else is going on. I got War Games back. Can't help it if I'm lucky. Geez, Chernobyl control Europe? Seems reasonable. So we got Glasnost. They got Soviet shoot down Cal. We got AWACS and Chernobyl and Solidarity. So they got Reagan bombs Libya and Iraq-Iran war. They did get Iran hostage crisis, which they could use for trouble. But only if they get terrorism again. So they're holding Soviet shoot down Cal, Iranian hostage crisis, grain sales, Reagan bombs Libya, and Iran-Iraq war. I can't shorten their hand. And I've also got Decol, which I can ditch with Aldrich. That's handy. War Games Quagmire. How I learned. So I think Chernobyl's the order of the day here, and just absolutely cram Europe. We've got a lot of ops to do it with. Solidarność as well. Aldrich, Space Quagmire. Yeah. Great. Europe. So what we just don't want them to do is to salt war games, I guess, or to missile envy it. So if they coup, first thing will be spacing Quagmire to stay below the point count. So we can always use Glasnost as a coup as well, with the Reformer not out. Although if he events the Reformer now, which would be wise, takes the coup. Partial success. What do we tap? Do we do that? I think we just go all out for glory, right? So in anticipation of Missile MV, we get rid of that card first. So they're holding Cal and grain sales. So they should be looking to space Cal now. Nope. Tap East Germany. If they tap Panama again, we just keep refilling on a 2-for-1 basis while we tot up East Germany. Glasnost takes East Germany. He still has to space Cal because we're going to get... Oh no, he can... Okay. He drops Central America scoring. We're going to take this tempo moment to try and beat him to space. Oh, unbelievable. Oh, what is going on? NASA! Okay, well, at least space is bad to both of us. We may hold Glasnost here. Oh, no, we can't. We've got to play Glasnost because of the Aldrich Decol combo. We'll be offering another coup, but we can live with that. So we know they're holding Grain and Iran, Iraq, but we don't know the other two. One small step, which they couldn't use. Well, small mercies. Where did that go? Oh, tapping India. Okay, I mean we're all out here, aren't we? We know what we're doing. So we know they're holding Grain, they're playing Iran, Iraq, and we don't know what that other card is, but we're about to find out. No, 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 no. They can play grain sales here, give away their other card, and we can take a coup. But we've decided we're going to win through Europe control, whether that's correct or not. Of course, the problem with the European control gambit is we have to make sure we don't get reformed or anything that drastically changes the face of Europe. But we're fully invested in that brand of weirdness now. So we're doing it. VOA. Definitely Asia. And we'll go Asia again. Yeah, why not? We're not cutting off access here. Is he going to take a coup? Another reason not to do stuff in Africa, I guess. Aldrich away decal. Alright, we'll keep DEFCON at 3. Take Europe. 4, 5, 6 makes it 5, 5. And that levels up Africa in the event of a coup. Although, of course, we get a counter coup. Let's get the reformer. We don't, and we don't get Europe scoring, and we get lone gunman. Yowza. Independent Reds, that causes some trouble, potentially. Alliance for Progress is worth a few valuable VP. But on the whole, this looks like a turn 10 battle for the heart of Europe. Right. OPEC. Lone Gunman. Independent Reds. Alliance. Arab Israel. Flower Power Muslim Rev. I think we just go all out, protect Europe. NASA and lads. So our headline is 3 VP Alliance for Progress. Coup happy Che. We just need to stay below 20 VP. So we're hoping they coup one of Angola and Zero and fail, so we can then coup Algeria. But the important thing is keeping the ticker down on VPs. Everything else is secondary. And we want to fade the reformer. Socialist governments, Comic-Con. So we'll just start piling up overprotection. Okay, so Comic-Con's gone. Any other 3-up card's better there, because Comic-Con... Oh, is it non-controlled, though? Sorry. I might be... Yeah, I'm talking smack, right? Any non-US controlled. Disregard. Played optimally. So now they're all overprotected. Socialist governments is a problem and the reformer is a problem. But we just keep ticking up on that. OPEC's only worth 2 VP at the moment, so that's another thing not to worry about too much just yet. We need to watch out for non-battlegrounds in Europe as well, because the reformer could just tap a whole bunch of non-battlegrounds. So there's a lot we need to do in Europe. But Europe being Europe, we can do it at the expense of the rest of the world, if we so choose. Lots to think about. Yep. So we'll now use the China card. Four, 4, 5, 4. So another one in France. Now the Reformer is our risk card, but that's probably 6 times as likely to be in the draw pile. May still try and space Europe Muslim Rev first, because now only the Reformer frigs with me. Although I need to put 97, 97, 11. I need to put 3 ops back in to recover. These are safe from the Reformer. That'll do it. Oh, come on. Might still get to 20 before me. So yeah, only an Africa scoring card puts me right in the hole. Ooh, ouch. Here comes the coup. Miss. Ooh. Yeah, so even an unmodified... Let's just check. Iranian Hostage Crisis is not played. So even if they terrorize away on AR6, I still have 2 cards left to play and I can hold Lone Gunman. Okay, now the Reformer doesn't break, doesn't break, doesn't break, doesn't break, doesn't break. So the jig is up. There's no way to get to 20. That's that. Well, that was a lengthy game. Oh man. When it never rains but it pours, eh? Let's take a good old gamble here. No 6. It's a 6. What's your last card? It ain't grain sales. It's the other one. Monty. Oh, man. Boff. I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we go 1 into nowhere. And get domination, Central America. But the scoreline doesn't lie. However many VPs they have, Europe Control wins it. Thanks for watching. We will let the feed trickle away, and comments are welcome on the video. Thanks a lot.